Welcome to a Legendarium special about John Damian of Falcius, the alchemist who tried to fly. During the second half of the 15th century, most likely during the year 1470, Giovanni da Magno de Falciucci was born at the height of the Italian Renaissance. Later he assumed the name John Damian of Falcius, adopting a new name as many graduates of medical school did at the time. Young John had a wide range of interests, including alchemy and experimental engineering. However, he finally chose to embark on a career in medicine. He studied and practiced in southern France, later earning the nickname the French Leech. In time, he made his way to Scotland, where King James IV became one of the age's most charismatic Renaissance monarchs. James IV generously supported the arts, sciences, and education. Accomplished scholars and artists from across Europe flocked to his court, among them John Damian of Falcius. With the support of James IV, he studied medicine and brewed life-prolonging elixirs. However, John's greatest dream involved creating the Philosopher's Stone, a mythical substance that could transmute lead into gold. It could also supposedly restore men to the innocence of the Garden of Eden, making them forever young and sinless. King James IV financed Damian's efforts in the hope of securing a bottomless treasury. The king even allowed Damian to build alchemical laboratories at both Stirling Castle and Holyrood Palace in Edinburgh. John Damian won enough goodwill from the king to receive the title Abbot of Tongland. When he received this high title and the income that came with it, he invested that wealth back into purchasing experimental chemicals. They included sugar, quicksilver, sulfur, regular silver, tin, and white lead. Damian also supervised royal entertainments, and the accounts show that the king lost much money playing cards and betting on shooting competitions with his alchemist. However, this influence and wealth also made Damian enemies. Of course, Damian failed to turn lead into gold after repeated attempts and at great cost to the king. After some time, Damian's jealous enemies spread word that he defrauded the king, and he faced the prospect of losing his place at court, if not his head. To prove his critics wrong, Damian declared that he would fly to France 400 years before the Wright brothers to prove his power. After studying and observing birds in flight, Damian deduced that he needed a pair of feathery wings to fly across the English Channel. Damian then sent his servants across Scotland to scavenge eagle feathers. For some reason, Damian concluded that eagle feathers, and only eagle feathers, could do the job. With all the plumage procured, the ambitious inventor pieced together 2 large wings that he could attach to his arms. Before a small crowd of onlookers, including the king, Damian climbed the 70-foot battlements of Stirling Castle. After steadying himself, he jumped from the battlements and fell to the ground, landing in a giant pile of animal and human dung. The dung broke his fall enough that he survived, although with a broken pelvis. Damian never retried the experiment, but he publicly claimed that his unfortunate crash only occurred because hen feathers had been mistakenly woven into his wings. Since hens could not lift themselves off the ground, they could not possibly be used in flight, or so Damian thought. Damian's failed flight might have been forgotten had it not been for the poet William Dunbar, who ironically had long been one of Damian's fiercest enemies. In his poem, The False Friar of Tongland, Dunbar told the story of a medical in leechcraft who fails to fly to France, and after tumbling into a pile of animal dung became known as the Friar of Dungland. It seems that James IV found Damian amusing to have around, for Damian remained on the royal payroll until James' death at the Battle of Flodden in 1513. Shortly afterwards, Damian simply vanished from the pages of history. Could his enemies in Scotland have used the king's death as their chance to be rid of him? Did Damian decide to take what he could and run for safety? Whatever he did, Damian likely did not use another set of wings to fly to his next adventure, either in this world or the next. That wraps things up for this episode of The Legendarium. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, press like. If you want to see more, press subscribe. And if you've got anything to say, let me know in the comments section. Thanks again for joining me, and I hope that you have a great rest of the day.